Hey everyone, and welcome. Today we're going to get into something that's, well, absolutely critical. We're talking about how to bake safety right into a project's DNA from the very, very beginning. I mean, integrating occupational safety and health, or OSH, directly into the tendering process way before a single boot ever hits the ground. So let me ask you this. When you think about project safety, you probably picture hard hats, safety vests, maybe some warning signs, right? But what if I told you the most important safety calls are made months before all that, in an office, buried in a pile of documents? See, the responsibility for safety doesn't kick in on day one of the build. It kicks in on day one of the planning. So first things first, let's lay the foundation here. Why does it matter so much to get OSH rate in the tendering phase? Well, because the stakes are just incredibly high for everyone, and I mean everyone involved. Now here's what's really interesting. This isn't just about doing the right thing morally, it's about smart business. When you treat OSH like an afterthought in the contract, you're setting off a chain reaction. An incident happens, that causes delays, and those delays, they blow up your budget. And of course, you're leaving the door wide open for some serious legal and financial headaches. So the bottom line is simple. Good safety is good business. Okay, that brings us to our first major player, the client. You can think of them as the architect of the whole project, which also makes them the architect of its safety culture. They're the ones who set the tone, the standards that everyone else is going to have to follow. And it really does all start with the paperwork. You know, vague instructions just lead to vague safety. A smart client makes sure their tender documents are crystal clear. First, they define the exact OSH requirements. We're not talking just be safe, we're talking about specific standards. Second, they specify how success is going to be measured. What does good safety performance actually look like? And third, they outline clear reporting procedures, so there's always accountability and good communication. All right, once those tenders are out, the client's job switches gears to assessment. But how do you tell the difference between the contractors who just talk a good game on safety and the ones who actually live it? Well, you have to get really good at spotting the strong signs and, just as important, the red flags. And this slide shows you exactly what to look for. Does a contractor have a detailed written policy? That means they've actually put some serious thought into their systems. How's their track record? Low incident rates are hard evidence of commitment. Do they have certified OSHA pros on their team? That's a huge plus. And finally, are their training programs designed to get ahead of problems, or are they just reacting when things go wrong? These are the clues that point to a real safety culture. Now, let's talk about money. Too often, people see safety as this unpredictable, scary cost. We need to completely redefine that. The cost of OSH isn't some fine you pay when something bad happens. It's a planned upfront investment to make sure things go right. It's the budget for proper gear, quality training, and the time it takes to manage safety the right way. And this chart makes that idea perfectly clear. See? The OSH cost isn't some extra fee tacked on at the end. It's a fundamental slice of the pie, right there alongside labor, materials, and equipment. When you plan for it correctly, it's a totally manageable and essential investment that actually protects every other part of the project. Okay, so we've gone through the client's playbook. Now, let's flip the script. Let's look at this from the contractor's point of view. How do you respond to that clear tender and put together a proposal that doesn't just win the job, but actually proves you're serious about safety? This quote right here really gets to the heart of it. A contractor who delivers a professional, detailed safety plan is sending a really powerful signal. They're saying, we're organized, we're competent, and you can count on us. A great OSH proposal is a sign of a high-quality company, full stop. So, how do you build a proposal that really stands out? 1. Address every single one of the client's requirements from the tender. Show them you were listening. 2. Give them hard evidence of your track record, like your safety numbers. 3. Don't just send a generic plan. Create a detailed safety plan that's specific to this project's unique risks. And finally, number 4, introduce your OSH team. Put names and faces to your expertise. So, as we start to wrap this up, what's the big takeaway? It's that project safety isn't just one person's job. It's a partnership. It's a shared responsibility where both the client and the contractor have really important connected roles to play right from the start. This table sums it all up beautifully. The client's main job, prepare those clear documents and properly check out every contractor. The contractor's job, come back with a detailed proposal that proves they're all in on OSH. But look at that last row. That's the key. Both have to treat safety as a planned cost and a shared goal. That's where the magic happens. And that leaves us with one final and really important question to ask ourselves. Whether you're a client writing a tender or a contractor putting in a bid, is your next contract truly built to be safe from day one? Because a successful project isn't just about being on time and on budget. It's about making sure everyone gets to go home safe at the end of the day.